Hello, Sergio. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Hi, Rokas. It's a pleasure to be here. So, I'm a Ukrainian entrepreneur. I'm 17 years old and I made over 10K in the past 5 months thanks to the real world. So, just my quick introduction.
Well, very solid start. Okay. So 10,000 as a 17-year-old and in Ukraine as well. What's the situation like in Ukraine currently economically? We won't get too political,
Well,
but just wondering, like
yeah,
economic wise.
economically, it's been rough, like maybe a decade of roughness.
Oh, damn.
The salary average in per month is not more than $500. So, well, you can imagine how it is there.
So over 5 months, if you were working an average salary, which as a 17-year-old, you probably wouldn't even get that salary. You'd get even lower. So 500 times 5, you'd get 2,500 from working a 9 to 5 as a normal Ukrainian, whereas you've earned 10,000 in that time span.
Yeah.
So quite something. All right. How did that come about? What did you get into within the real world? What campuses were the main contributing factors?
When I first joined the real world, I started doing the freelance at the time. Right now, it's client acquisition. The most of my knowledge that really helped me was from Dylan in the client acquisition campus, and I really liked the business mastery campus. It's just a lot of really helpful information about the business, how to sell, and everything.
Okay, so you're saying main campuses were freelancing, client acquisition, business mastery. What skill did you actually offer them?
At first, I started to think what can I offer from what I already know, because I by the time I knew some skills because I had free time. So I started doing my own service like 3D modeling, something like this. I've done it through like freelancing campus, step by step, and within a month, I can even say within 3 weeks, I got my first money.
Very nice. Within the first 3 weeks of being in the real world.
Yes.
Okay, so super solid. Clearly, you put in quite a bit of work for that as well. It's not like it just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. In that case, I would like to know. So since you've joined the real world, as much as you remember, month by month, your journey of what you learned, how you applied it, how that led to getting clients, and how you scaled your income with that.
Well, it's been quite a journey because even with the big resource of the real world, with the captains and professors, I've made a lot of mistakes. So I'm not perfect in
Mhm.
this regard. So I've done quite a lot of businesses, if you can name them. So so yeah, the best skills I've learned through real world, it's sales with sales mastery. It's just the best skill I've learned ever. And networking really helps.
Mhm. But I want an in-depth breakdown from when you
In that,
joined the real world.
okay,
Again,
let's think
what you
in
learned
that.
from the campuses, how your months were. Did you struggle with clients at any point? Basically, just as much as you remember from when you joined the real
Okay,
world.
okay, let's do it. So the first months, it was strange for a bit because you don't know what to do. The platform is new. Uh, so I didn't start doing any business for like solid 2 weeks in November and December. I've just November. It's been end of November, so I've just joined, just trying to figure something out. And full December, I've just learned stuff, going through lessons, going through different campuses, just trying to figure out how everything works. Then at the end of December, start of January, I started doing my own thing, trying to make money. And at first, it was very hard to come up with the outreach. The Business Mastery campus helped me with this. Outreach Mastery course is just my Bible on how to write outreach.
Mhm.
um, yeah. And then I I got my first client at the end of January. It was like 2022 of January. And then it got a bit easier with the time you put in and the efforts. Uh, for the next 4 months, I got more and more clients. From one client per month, I got to like 5 clients per month. And from there, it's not all up. I've done some mistakes in the summer, how I spend my time, so, but it's different things.
Mm-hmm.
In the business wise matter, it got easier and easier with the time you put in. And real world is really says how you put it in time.
Right. Okay, so how
Yeah.
different is your average day now then compared to before you joined the real world? What did the two look like in contrast?
I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about money. Uh, I had some skills, like I said, I've done 3D modeling, so I've worked a bit, but it was not professional. I cannot say it was professional. It's amateur. So it's
Mhm.
really how you do your work and how you sell that will matters.
Let me repeat question. Maybe you misunderstood. So, what does your average day look like now compared
Oh,
to your
average
average
day.
day before you joined the real world?
Average day. Okay. Average day before I've joined the real world. I slept for a lot of time. I like sleep. So I woke up late, probably like at 1 p.m. Then just do breakfast. And I didn't study uh, for some reason. I didn't work, just playing video games, chatting with people, and that's it. The whole day comes just chatting to people, playing video games, eating stuff, a bit of fitness. I played basketball at the time, and just go sleep. Every day is the same.
Mhm.
And then
And
after I
average
joined
day
the
now?
real world, what?
And average day now?
Yeah,
What
it's the
about?
average day before the real world.
No, and like, what is your average day now in comparison?
Okay, average day. Average day now is I wake up at 9 a.m. I still like to sleep. But first thing I do, check my phone, then go shower, training, and I start work. I work for 7 hours just without standing up and doing anything. Then I just maybe eat something, do a bit of training, and then I just work till the midnight, I think. That's just how my day goes. And then I do whatever I want, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
Spend time with my family and everything, yeah.
Or what do your family actually think about what you're doing? Do they not think maybe you're being too excessive with putting in so much work? And actually, how did they react to you
Well,
making that amount of money
at
as well? Because
first,
it's substantial.
yeah. Yeah, well, at first, when you don't make any money and they know your previous history, what you did with your time, of course, it's going to be hard for them to understand you and what you do and the value of it. So when I started putting my time in the reward, I've started working hard from the start. Like I didn't waste too much time and just doing nothing, not paying attention. Uh, Putting 10 hours of work almost every day, like for some days 8 hours of work after you've done zero work, it's been quite strange for them to see. And they've asked me, okay, what did change you? I've explained it and they understood it. uh, I don't think they were concerned with me working that much. After I got the money, they had some concerns. Okay, but how you make the money? Because they know it's hard to make the money with the resources they had at the time. So yeah, they've been a bit concerned, but when you explain to them and they see you put in the work and progress, they don't really like not
Yeah,
concerned
yeah, yeah.
about it. I've
Makes
been
sense.
clear with my intentions and how I view my life.
Mhm. And along those lines, then, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Well, those kind of my goals. My goals is to utilize more of the real world because I still think I am underutilizing the power of the real world because there's a lot of things to use inside. I want to scale my businesses that I have right now. I have my agency. I also start working on the in the business campus. There's business in the box course, so it's really interesting for me. And that's my short time goals. The medium time goals, I see myself moving to another country. I just don't like
Mhm.
it here. I don't know a word in Spanish, maybe some basic stuff. So it's
Mhm.
pretty hard to live here by myself. Uh, and just working towards being more of a professional, just upgrading my life more and more. And long term,
Very solid.
I,
Yeah.
I do not really think about what, okay, where I'm going to be in 10 years. I don't know. We'll see. It's
Mhm.
going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
Right. Okay, I like that. So it seems you have a very solid mindset for a 17-year-old. So that will set you up very well for future. So it'll be interesting to see how everything progresses for you. And let's dive a bit more into the real world then. So in terms of the material and learning resources that you had access to within it, how different is it compared to if you're trying to learn this on your own through the internet?
I think you can learn a lot of things through the internet. Although you have a lot of information, you just don't have access to people because it's not even the information. You can probably go and learn how to outreach or learn copywriting or whatever. You can learn this stuff, but you can't get feedback. So if you do something wrong, you don't know it because you don't know. So it's really different. I don't think there's any place where you can learn the stuff like this at this professional level with the feedback, with the community, and with all the things. And the lessons are. I like that the lessons are concise because
Mhm.
I don't like the long lessons like use because I've done some courses before because I've learned my skills 3D and the courses were long. Like one lesson 50 minutes. I don't want to watch 50 minutes. In the real world is I don't think I've ever saw a lesson over 20 minutes. Yeah. That's what I like
Mhm.
about the real world.
Very solid. Okay. And how has your lifestyle changed then? Have you actually been spending that money that you've earned, or are you just holding it and investing it? Or have you noticed a difference? Like, what do you put it towards?
I've been spending a lot uh fitness because that's what I think is the best thing to ever spend money on. I invest my money mostly into myself. So it's when I want to learn something new, if I want to start another business, I will invest. I'm getting into DeFi is decentralized finance in the real world. It's really interesting for me,
Mhm.
and the the professor Sillard, I think, yeah, Sillard, he
Yep.
makes it really easy to start learning what crypto is. For me, it's just great.
Okay. Super cool. And that's pretty much all my questions then for our first interview. So we can do a follow up in about 3 to 4 months to see how you're doing and get your progress update because I'm sure you'll be doing well. And to wrap everything up, For people who are unsure about joining the real world because they're thinking it could be a scam for the $50, what advice would you have to them?
Well, it's not about $50, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
about the mindset you have. Because I don't think there's a lot of people that are scared to lose $50. They spend $50 on video games. So the advice I would give to them is to learn to view your life how you want it to be. And I think when people will think about their life, just sit down and think about their life, they will end up investing $50 in their life.
Mm-hmm. Or it makes sense. And even for you, you could have made that excuse that it's Ukraine, people barely earn like any money here, especially with the situation. I can't afford to spend $50 on this. But you didn't make that. You didn't even consider that as an excuse. You just joined it, and look where you are now. So yeah, I guess it is a mindset thing, as you say yourself. And now, for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
My Instagram, it's the same nickname I use everywhere. So if I'm somewhere, it's the same nickname. It's part of my last name because I'm very proud of my last name. So it's the part of my last name there. It's Vakovsky. People hate it all the time because they don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay. I'll add it to the description of the video, your Instagram. So anyone interested can click there and check you out.
Cool.
All right. So, Sergio, it was great speaking to you. Great to hear how well you're doing. And as I said, I look forward to doing a follow-up with you fairly soon. Months fly by, so I'm sure we'll be sitting here again for part 2 and hearing just how much more you have to update us on. And until then, I wish you all the best.